Hey there, YouTube, is your boy Lipper with another Newsday Tuesday. Today we got Billionaire Pavel Durov arrested. The truth about Telegram by FireShip. Let's get into it, shall we? Hit it.
The most interesting men in the world. He has a net worth of 15 billion, yet owns no assets. He's fathered over 100 kids, yet never had relations with the
I knew a lot of things about him. I did not know he had 100 kids. Okay.
others. He created VK in Russia and trolled government officials, and even his hairline unreceded out of respect. But his greatest achievement is the creation of Telegram, a social platform with over 1 billion users that doesn't run ads, has only 30 employees, and is engineered to be extremely annoying to anyone who glows in the dark. He once said, "To be truly free, you should be ready to risk everything for freedom." Well, yesterday, that risk was realized when he was arrested in France and is now facing up to 20 years in prison, with potential charges for money laundering, fraud, sanctions evadement, for doing terrorisms, and the list goes on.
Which actually is interesting as well, because I know this is on the Western side, and the information that's coming up from the West. I think this is a couple of days old? It's 5 days old. As I understand it, very recently you also got the UAE consulate also just contacting the French consulate, because they're like, hey, we don't appreciate that because he's an Emirati citizen, as I understand it. So they also blew up a deal. I think there was a Rafael, couple $1 billion for the fighter jet deal as well. So yeah, that is gone. Fun fact.
There's a lot more to this story, so today we'll find out how Telegram actually works, compare it to other encrypted messaging apps like Signal, to find out if Telegram is good or evil. It is August 25th, 2024, and you're watching The Code Report. Pavel Durov is Russian-born, but he's also a citizen of the UAE and France. Right. I don't know what his play was with becoming a French citizen, but it gave France the justification to arrest, imprison, and potentially guillotine him. But what did he actually do that was so bad? Well, according to the French, they're mad because of a, quote, lack of moderation and cooperation with law enforcement.
This is actually, I think it's an argument that has been made and has stuck with a lot of our social media platforms, but it's a stupid argument in my understanding, which is quite simply, if you manufacture knives and you hand knives out to 1,000 people and one of them stabs someone else, you don't go and charge the knife manufacturer. It's the same thing with, I think, libraries as well. If you have a library that has an illegal book in certain countries, you don't really go and ban the library. That's not how this works. You want to moderate stuff within the library, suddenly you're going to have problems, which is basically, if the library is aware that there is an event or something that is illegal happening, then they have a right to go and stop whatever the illegal event is from happening. And I'm assuming in Telegram's case, they don't know what's the content on the platform. It's a completely encrypted platform, and I think the people who are only communicating and using the platform know what the other person is talking about. It's a completely secure end-to-end encrypted platform. That's just about it. The fact that WhatsApp claims it's end-to-end encrypted and has not been banned from Russia, the United States, and any other major country is like, yeah, so obviously they got backdoors into it. That's clear. Everyone is aware of that. You take this app, Telegram, and it basically knows it's banned. Pretty sure it's banned from, I think, most US, garment entities, I think. It's banned from Russia recently. So, yeah, fun fact, if an app is banned because it's too hard to crack, honestly speaking, I think the app is secure. Just my thing, though.
In addition, Telegram's use of disposable phone numbers facilitates cryptocurrency transfers that cannot be monitored by authorities. And Telegram even has its own token that's been tanking after the arrest. It sounds a lot like the Silk Road, which got its founder Ross Ulbricht 2 life sentences without parole. But I've been a Telegram user for many years.
I did not know Silk Road was 2 life sentences without parole. Like, really? Damn, that sounds harsh. At least, use the guy. At least put him into, like, the special services and basically be like, either you spend your life in prison or use your talents for the greater good. I would say that he could still have contributed a lot more into building better platforms that I think the government might have appreciated. But hey, that's just my opinion. Okay.
And have never personally seen any illegal activity take place there. It's just the only social platform you can get unfiltered, uncensored information, like the truth about wars and the shape of the planet, without the mainstream narrative and infantile warning labels. But Telegram is not totally uncensored. If you download it from the Apple or Google app stores, they're required to censor a large amount of content. That's why you should only ever download it from telegram.org, and many of their applications are open sourced as well. But how do the authorities even know about all this illegal stuff if everything on Telegram is encrypted? Well, actually, most things that happen happen on Telegram are not encrypted. Well, encrypted, just not end-to-end encrypted.
Okay.
The most secure way to pass messages privately is to use end-to-end encryption, where the encryption and decryption happens on the user's device, as opposed to a centralized server not owned by the user. Even if the messages are stored in a centralized database, only the person with the key can read those messages, not the company hosting the database and not the authorities. The only way to read someone's messages is to physically hold them at gunpoint and make them open up their phone. This is how apps like Signal work, which has its own open source protocol and itself was recently banned in Russia. Now, Telegram does do end-to-end encryption for private chats, but everything else is public and encrypted on the server. And Telegram's protocol has received a fair amount of criticism from security researchers in the past. The reason the feds hate Telegram, though, is because its infrastructure is intentionally distributed across multiple countries. That means if an agent wants your data, they'll need to coordinate with multiple different legal systems, and even if they bust down the door and take the hard drive in Iowa, the data will be encrypted with the key stored in some other random country like Turkmenistan.
So it's not even like the fact that the actual protocol itself is uncrackable, it's just that it's so hard for the actual entities to basically have like an international kind of reach to go and get those certain keys from different countries that it's just not worthwhile.
And the Turkmenistanis might not be too keen to help us out because we've been bombing their country for the last 30 years. The authorities hate encryption so much that in the EU, they're trying to make end-to-end encryption illegal. Ylva Johansson, aka Big Sister, is one of the figures behind this push, but so far it's been unsuccessful. Encryption is their kryptonite. Things like hate speech have already been criminalized in many parts of Europe.
This actually surprised me.
Okay, but
this actually surprised me from the UK perspective. I thought this was a meme for years, until this started becoming a big enough issue where I'm just like, okay, wow, I did not know it was that bad. Wow. Just to be able to, it's wild to me that they have a situation where you can actually say something online and then be arrested for it. Like, wow. That's more regressive than a lot of other countries I know. Even developing countries haven't gone that far. Jeez.
Platform like Telegram doesn't cooperate, it becomes nearly impossible to enforce those laws. Well, one idea is to cut the head off the snake by arresting the CEO when he lands in his private jet and make him an offer he can't refuse. Either spend the next 20 years locked in a cage, or let us in the back door, then get back on your private jet and continue living your life as a prolific sperm donator. I don't know how things work in France, but the reality is that once the United States government goes after you, the chance of winning in court is less than 1%. That's why almost everyone in federal court pleads guilty. Even if you do win a case against the feds, like billionaire Mike Lynch did a few weeks ago, they'll just turn on HARP to summon a freak Sharknado to take you out. Billionaire Mike Lynch did a few weeks ago, they'll just turn on HARP to summon a freak Sharknado to take you out while you celebrate on your yacht. Either that, or it was just a crazy...
what? Died 2 weeks later, along with his lawyer and his expert. No. I did not know this. FireShip, thank you for enlightening me, because that is fucked up. Wow.
Coincidence. At this point, nobody knows what's going to happen to Pavel Durov, but we'll soon find out if he's ready to risk everything to become truly free.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, wow. The US government ain't playing. And then, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed this week's Newsday Tuesday. Catch you before Bastards in the next one. Peace, take care. Nice.